Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. I'm glad you guys are with us today. And I am Toni Sawyer. This is Cornerstone. And my husband's coming in here in just a moment. He'll be sitting in here to speak to all of you. Good afternoon, Joe. We're glad you're here. You're the early bird tonight. You are the early bird. And let's see who's next. There's Sandra. Sandra, thank you for that call last night to Pastor and words of encouragement. Thank you so much. Hello, Dee Dee and George. Glad you guys are tuned in. Brand, I love you. Tell Jakila I said hello. Hello, James K. Hope you're doing well. And here comes Sissy and brother-in-law. Hey, Sissy. Hope you had a good day. We've had a pretty good day today. Been busy, but it's been good. So I'm glad you guys are with us. I'm glad you guys are here. I wanted to do our affirmations tonight while Pastor's getting ready. I know he's taking a little time. He's been getting ready for his surgery on Thursday. So while I'm thinking about it, let me put up there um, some information for you. Yeah, let me just do that before we do anything else. I want to make sure that everybody knows what's going to be happening. He's going to be going in for surgery on his shoulder on Thursday. So we will be canceling our Thursday impromptu and probably our Sunday and possibly even Tuesday. So I'm anticipating we'll be back live again in June. The first Sunday in June. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's what I put up there. Our regular scheduled live stream. So in the meantime, you guys be praying with Pastor and myself. I think he's going to be fine, but we just need you guys to uphold him in prayer.
Got a left arm I got to learn to use.
Exactly. Because he's right-handed and it's going to be on his right shoulder. So anyway, just so that you guys will know and put that on the screen for you. In the meantime, let's do, hey, Jill, glad you're here. Let's do our affirmations. You know, when we talk about the affirmations, we're not doing the affirmations to become this or to try to be this, but this is a declaration, a statement or declaration about the truth of who we are. So this is just our I ams. We've done this before. I kind of dropped the word self in it so that we can have a different take on it. So when we do it this time, we're not going to say I am any particular self, because in essence, we are the self. In our godness, in our divinity, we are the God self. So we're going to just declare what we truly are. So I'm going to add that for you to see it. And let me know if you're hearing us and seeing us clearly. I forget to say that sometimes, so please do that. And let's see here. I'm going to stop this for a moment, this banner, so it won't interfere with your guys. All right, if you would, I want you to get quiet and still, and let's center in and repeat this after me. This is what we say about ourselves other than what our conditioning says. Our conditioning says, I am sick, or I am poor, or I am whatever. It has all these negative connotations behind it. None of that is true of who you are. It is only true of your conditionings and your physicality. But when you speak from that you truly are, there are no negative statements made. This is the statement of truth about who we are. So let's just do this. I want you to gear down, center in, take a deep breath in. Are you okay, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath in and repeat this after me, if you would. I am complete. I am blessed. I am spirit. I am infinite. I am eternal. I am unborn. I am nameless. I am ageless. I am unbound. I am authentic. I am unaffected. I am undisturbed. I am unafraid. I am clear. I am intuitive. I am free. I am timeless. I am unconditioned. I am peace. I am forgiveness. I am non-judgmental. I am all-inclusive. I am indescribable. I am undefinable. I am unaddicted. I am stable. I am formless. I am stillness. I am joy. I am abundance. I am everywhere present. I am the knower. I am unattached. I am sacred. I am unlimited. I am love. I am truth. I am life. I am all potential. I am. I am the self. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. You notice when you say those affirmations or declarations, I want to change it from affirmations to declarations. If you notice, there are times when your mind will resist certain parts of it because the mind does not believe that about itself. So it begins to resist the truth of who you are, and that's the parts of us where we're going back and forth, where we'll experience that flip flop because in the beginning, a lot of our beliefs and thoughts about ourselves uh, will a lot of the stuff that we say in the affirmations declarations will cause what I call cognitive dissonance. There's um, a resistance that comes up because there's a thought that says that's not true, uh, and then you start to believe that you are a different than what you're declaring. Anyway, let's move forward. I wanted to say hello to several people. Hey, Judy Jude. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Apostle Norman and Brother James D. And John Greason and Phyllis Torrance and Edward. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to put up again just for the sake of clarity so you guys will know what's going on this week. Pastor's going in for surgery on his right shoulder. So we will be postponing all of the classes on the class on Thursday, this coming Thursday. The impromptu will be canceling the class on Sunday and possibly next Tuesday. And we'll be back on the following Sunday in June. I think it's June the 6th. And I think I'll put that on there for you guys so you can see it. And I'll put it up again just for everybody to know what's going on. But we thank you for your prayers with Pastor. And I know he's going to have a very smooth time. He's not going to have any complications. You guys are going to be praying for him and he's going to be fine. But I just wanted to remind you of that.
We had a plumber to come in because I'm right-handed and I have to use my left hand.
That's a little bit.
I'm sorry.
A little personal.
Oh well, I'm sorry, but I don't pay no attention. She do.
I do. Yes.
I don't pay.
Yeah. I know.
That's why I met her.
I know. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in.
But anyway, it's a very sensitive situation in surgery. Okay.
John says, good evening, pastors and friends. What a Sunday surprise. God is great beyond words. Pastors, toodles to you both.
Okay.
What happened Sunday? Are you talking about what he said to you on Sunday? Is that what you're referring to? Let me know. Dee Dee says she's a lefty. So there are complications when you're when you have a right hand, when you're right-handed,
mm-hmm.
and you got to have total shoulder. You got a
lot
of things you can't do.
Yeah. And it's already been replaced, so it's got its limits on how far I can use it.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, you guys get the drift. I'm sure you do. So thank you for being in prayer for Pastor with that. Let me know what you think about the affirmations, and did you feel areas of resistance? Did you feel areas of resistance come up when we were doing that? Let me know. Pastor, what you going to talk about?
Well, we're going to say something like this. Jesus appears to himself through the self that we are, our true self. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the self that was born. I'm not talking about the self that's conditioned. I'm not talking about the self that says, I don't want to do anything in self, like we always say.
Right.
And this self that I'm not even talking about that part of yourself that has to be renewed.
Right.
I'm talking about somebody that never existed anywhere outside of God. So if God disappear, we disappear. Mm-hmm. We are the ones. Mm-hmm. We are, and you have to admit it in calmness and serene. You have to admit it. And once you say it, I had the plumber guy in the front in the dining room, and I told him, I said, I remember you in heaven. I've seen you in heaven. He said, oh, yeah?
He said, are you sure it was me?
Are you sure with me? Yeah. See, he's thinking that he wasn't there because I know some things that he's done and doing that don't line up with a Christian.
Exactly.
That's a good point right there.
That is a good point.
It is the Christian ideal that gives off the ideal that only those who give their life to Jesus as a Christian is going to be in heaven. Mm-hmm. And that's not true.
Right, right.
That's not
Judy
true.
said, holding you, Pastor, and all the medical staff in the light of truth for the highest and best outcome. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much, sweetie. And Pearl is saying similar. She said, sending love and prayers always in successful recovery.
Thank you, Miss Pearl. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. And John was saying he was referring to Sunday and you speaking to him on Sunday. Specifically to him.
Yeah, I can still hear that inside, and it says it means the same.
Jill said she was reflecting on the feelings that she had today. They were not the self while saying the declarations. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. If there are areas, even for me, when we say the affirmations, I think I'll put them back up there for a minute.
But I would say them regardless of trying to discern where they're coming from or what they do, if you want to. A lot of people have gotten into the place like our cell phones. If you don't have a cell phone, you out of the circuit. You're not hooked up. And some people say, well, if you don't confess that these affirmations, you're not a Christian, all the stuff. Look, I don't mess with that because I don't have time for it, and you don't either to debate whether these affirmations are true. Right. But what is truth about you is not. What is truth about you? What is truth about you? I'm going to keep saying it as long as I sense it inside. What is truth about you? What is the truth about you is your essence, your eternal essence, your infinite eternal self. That has nothing to do with a confession.
Right. And that's not what we're not making confessions.
We're not using that for that.
These are simply declarations of truth. So it's not that we're trying to be these things. It is that we are this.
What we're saying to you and to everybody, it is time for you to wake up from the ideal that God is at a distance from you, listening to you, because he is you listening to himself from your eternal self.
Yes. And I know there are certain areas. I'm going to look at one. See, there's one that I know I had some resistance come up. It was the everywhere present. No, it wasn't that one. It was the unaffected. That was it. When the statement was made, I am unaffected, I felt resistance come up because my mind said, you are affected by different things that are coming up. So that was where the resistance came up. The mind could not accept the truth of who I am. So I wrote this in my notes, that until you enter into knowing, you will hold the truth about yourself and the lie that you believed about yourself in your mental processes. So that you'll sense that air of resistance, even though you know better. You do know better because you are the knower. And I hope that makes some sense.
I always like to say it like this. You are all of the yeses of God in stillness or in noise. You do not make any noise inside this body. What is making noise in that is the rattling of the mind and the feelings of the body. You cannot, if you put a microphone close to your body, a special kind, you can hear the blood flowing through you.
Well, if you stop at your ears, you can.
Yeah. Yes. You can hear your heart beat through your ears.
You can hear how much noise there is inside the body.
When you leave, the noise in the body stops. But when you leave the noise also.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that. It's nothing. I'm finding out more and more that this awareness is the King James Version. Yeah, I'm metaphorically saying that our essence is the actual true translation of the Bible. I'm going to say it again. Our true essence, yours, everybody that's eternal, is the true essence of the Bible, that of any book.
Yes.
Any saying, any denomination.
Well, can you say it this way, that we are the Word? We are the Word of God.
I'm going to say it like this. You are the eternal essence, the eternal self. You are the Bible without words in your eternal spirit. I'm not saying you the Bible in your physical birth. I'm saying you are in your eternal essence, the book without words. You are the silent stillness Bible. Okay, let's develop a Bible. Let's get one printed out. The next time we go to the publisher, tell him that you want to write a biography of yourself. Okay. And he'll say, well, what do you want to start? I said, I'll start right here like this. He said, well, I didn't hear you say anything. I said, the reason why you didn't hear me say anything, because that's what I am. Yes. And the book that you're going to write is called the Book of No Words. The King James Version of No Words. That would be your Bible. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you the truth. You are the one that is watching the thoughts go through its mind. You are not the thinker. You are the observer of the thinker. You've heard this so many times, and you need to keep hearing it because it needs to be settled. You do not have to go to God in prayer.
Sissy said this, and thank you, Sissy, for commenting. She said, leaving off the word self when we're doing the I am declarations creates less resistance because it takes away the measuring stick in the mind. Yes, that's true. That is so true. And you were talking about us being the Bible, but there's a scripture, and I don't remember exactly where it is, but I'm sure Pastor Norma could tell me, where it says we are living epistles.
Yeah,
we're living epistles. We're living letters of God.
But you know, in this world, you may have to talk like you are not anything of the affirmations. You may, but then somebody may come up and say, "I don't believe in that. I believe this. I believe that." Do you?
And that's the resistance I'm talking about.
Let me share. Yeah, let me share something with you. When you fully wake up in awareness, and it's as you get into it, you'll come to the place where you do not have to tell anybody who you are. Because once this is settled, I don't care how much noise your mind make, how much people you really. I'm gonna share this. As you go deeper in, it is the less you have to do with people that operate in their false self. We're not prejudiced, but you know, in the Christian circle, they try to stay away from anybody that don't believe in Jesus. But they don't know that Jesus don't stop being their eternal self just because they don't believe in him. I'm going to say it again. Jesus is not, if there was an atheist sitting beside you now, Jesus would be in him, whether he believed in him or not, through the part of him, through the part of the atheist that is eternal. Now, I know we're going to get a lot of people that don't understand that, but I found out something. I found out how to talk what I've been knowing God wanted me to say 50 years ago about my true identity, but I was silly, didn't know no better. I just started out. And some of you, I know that there are certain people I'm around, I don't even get anywhere close to talking to them about anything spiritual or Bible. But if in some of them, everybody I see, I don't go out and tell them that I see Jesus in you, but I will, and I don't have any problem with it. I don't have to ask them before I tell them this. Do you know Jesus as your Lord and Savior? I don't even care to ask them anything like that. One of the first things I said to that plumber today, I see Jesus in you, and I remember you in heaven before coming to earth.
Thank you, James, for giving me the scripture for that and about us being living epistles. And Marquesa, thank you, sweetie. I'm glad you're here. She says, when this is settled, you don't have to tell anybody anything.
That's right.
My true identity. I wanted to mention something, and I try to be as transparent as possible when we're here on these live streams. And when I say that, I mean where I am in this journey. I try to share that because I know that when I do, there's somebody else that's having the same experience that I'm having. Now, I mentioned this to my husband on the other day. We know we those of us who are spiritual, we always say we want people to see Christ in us. We want Christ to be seen. But if you're really, really honest, and I'm going to be very honest with myself, as I always have been, I try to be with you guys. I sat down day before yesterday, I think it was, and I thought about that. I do a lot of contemplation. When I did that, I contemplated that statement. I want people to see Christ in me. But then I realized that egoically, that has not been what I wanted people to see. What I had wanted people to see was I'm good looking, I'm smart, I look like I'm rich, and I could go down the list, but it had nothing to do with wanting people to see Christ here. Meeting other people, those things came up in front of the desire to present Christ. It came up in front of it. And a lot of times the identification with that was more prevalent than wanting people to see Christ here. And a lot of times it isn't so much those things. It could be, I want them to see my talent. I want them to see how witty I am, how funny I am, how friendly I am. Want them to see how gifted I am, how quickly I can come up with some solutions. I want them to see all of that came out in front of the desire to show or present Christ. And I want to be very, very practical and apparent, translucent, transparent before you. That is what most of the time has come forth first. But there have been other times when I didn't care what people saw, and that's when I know Christ was presented. But most of the time, the ego cares what people see.
Go to the grocery store deliberately and say this too. Space all around you. All these people are the breath of God in each other.
Yes.
Go through it again. Deliberately look at them. You are inside of every one of them in the grocery store, standing in line behind you or the own personal checkout. I'm asking you to check out the truth of who you are. Listen to this. Some people laugh at this, but do you know you're breathing the same oxygen that everybody in the grocery store is breathing? Somebody says, "Oh God, I don't want their breath in my breath." I'm sorry, it does not have an odor.
Judy says this: the atheist being just another expression of God, like the Buddhist, the Hindu, the Catholic, the whatever. God animating all beings. Yes, yes.
I am going to see the day, and so will you, that your God identity, hot dog, will take the end of the head of the zipper and zip this body down in your consciousness. And it will reveal to the one who zipped the zipper that you are inside of every living being in the universe. The rocks talk to you. The trees talk to you.
Yes.
The wind talk to you. The water talk to you. Yes. Oh, yes.
Everything speaks to you.
Now, listen. Watch this. As long as you think God and you are separated, as long as you think God is someone watch this. As long as you think God is someone above you,
Exactly.
you won't hear anything but that ego say it. Some people say, well, he's the ego talking about being and hearing what God is. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Have you? Let me share something else with you. You will have your day before you leave this body of this earth. Our physical body is a matchup for the physical dirt of the earth.
Yes.
There shall be a day that you will look at the dirt and tell it if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't exist. And it will not have any it will not have any bearing on the ideal that I'm scared to say this. I am not afraid to tell the truth about the life that I am in everybody in the street. You're the life of God inside of a prostitute. You're the life of God inside of a murderer. You're the life of God inside of our president and every president that ever been inaugurated. You're the life of God in Nixon, even though he was impeached.
And Hitler.
And Hitler.
He wasn't a peach, he was impeached.
No, he was a peach. He
wasn't a peach, he was impeached.
He was an impeach and a peach. You are the life of God.
Yes, yes.
That person is out on the street sleeping with cardboard over him or her. No house to live in.
Yes, yes.
I look at Jesus in him. He said, I was in the streets and you saw me not. I was sleeping in a cardboard box and you saw me not. I was sleeping under a bridge and you saw me not. You saw me. I was standing on the street corner with a sign in my hand, homeless, need food to eat. I was there, and I will always be there as the essence in every man in the earth. The one that has to go to the bathroom in a service station and take a bath.
Yes.
I am there.
Yes.
Now, if you want to worship God in pureness and righteousness, go right to the truth. Look.
This book, Know Yourself, and I think we presented it to you guys before, but it says it's based on what you just said. You see him and you do not know that you see him.
Now.
You see him and you do not know.
That's what I like. You see him and do not know. But watch this now. You see him and do not know. Miss Judy, watch this. But as you see him and do not know, I see something happening. I see somebody's mouth dropping open, and they what they see and did not know that they see, they now, Miss Judy, they now see. And the mouth said, oh, I see Jesus. You may have to say it under your breath. Yeah. That may be him. That might be him. It was him. Now, the lady walked up to us. She said, here. She gave us the piece of paper. It was a check. The lady gave it to us. No names mentioned. The lady called and said, I have something to give you. The lady met with us and paid $13,000 of a bill that we had of 2 new air conditioners. There is an absolute blessing of God. Yes. Not in you, but as you. It is not enough for him to be in me. Ain't it enough for him to be in me? Somebody said, no, it's not. But it is.
It's not enough for him to be with you, not enough for him to be in you.
That's right. But it is complete as you. What in the world is called the glory of God? Somebody say, I'm waiting on that great and powerful day that we'll see Jesus as everybody. You can't wait.
No.
God ain't waiting for something.
Mm-mm.
And let me tell you something else. Your eternal self is not waiting for the coming of Jesus.
That's right. It's not. Because your coming is his coming.
He's here in your form. Now, if he wants to come in the sky, it's all right with me.
Yeah.
Don't have no problem.
Won't be any different.
You'll see Jesus coming on the white horse in the sky and all the angels with him. Stop. Look at your insides. Listen to your insides react. My Lord cometh unto my Lord. And I am not talking about you in your name. Somebody had me to take my fingernail and write my name on a pad today. I did that because that's what we see in this dimension of finiteness. But I had to do it because that's the way the world system is. Mm-hmm. But that's not my name.
Mm-hmm. Judy said this. She said, I saw him so clearly today in the FedEx driver. He brought tears to my eyes.
Yes.
We were so blessed in our brief recognition of the Christ in each other. That's wonderful, 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 wonderful. Can I read something else?
Mm-hmm.
You do not see God as having ever created anything, but as being every day in a different configuration, which sometimes reveals him and sometimes conceals him.
Mm-hmm.
In a different configuration, every day, in a different configuration, which sometimes reveals him and sometimes conceals him without any condition.
You go out of your house and to your job every day, or you wake up every morning, your body does. Mm-hmm. And the Christ that you are never sleep.
Never.
He never slumber. He never looks for victory or failure. He never waits for the Father to speak to him. He never asks God for direction. Glory be to God. Your true eternal self does not wait to hear God's voice. Your eternal essence does not sit around and meditate all day just to hear God talk to you about a certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
He don't do it.
Don't do it.
Your eternal self is not
Doesn't
that.
do it. Mm-mm.
You know, I'm saying some things to you guys that tonight that I've been wanting to say and recognize within myself. A lot of times you won't hear your essence speaking through you until you start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time when you start talking, the first thing come to the mind is, that ain't God, because it just don't sound like him.
Well,
God don't have to sound like anybody to be himself.
What you're saying is we miss God a lot of times because of our expectations of what God should be like. And so we miss God in many cases because we have this preconceived idea of what it's going to be like when we see God.
The mind wants to get saved.
Yes.
The mind wants to get saved, and the mind wants to walk the middle path so that it will look and feel a certain way. You are the path of God without the ego. Mm-hmm. You are the steps of Jesus without moving your feet. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, moving his feet. You go up hills when you're walking or riding. He is not tired. When you ride in a car, he's riding and through you driving. Yeah. Hear what thus saith the Lord in your true self. Look at what thus saith the Lord in his true self. There's somebody knocking at the door. Somebody need to go answer the door because somebody's ringing the bell. Open the door to an enlarged consciousness and tell whoever it is out there that nobody comes through this door and rings this bell but Christ consciousness. Hallelujah. We are blessed And we are, you are the blessings of God so fast and so wonderful that you can't even count them.
Yeah.
Yes, you see him, but you're not aware that you do.
Yes.
But here's the Nazarite secret. Samson's strength was not in his hair. And when they cut it, it seemed like he lost his strength. What he lost was what Adam and Eve lost in the garden when they decided not to no longer be one with God. It's called a separation awareness, which is not true. But let's use it for a second.
Yes.
You must find out that you have been hearing a lie all these years through the mind and feelings and objects and things. Everything in your house, from this screen to this table, gives off a prophetic word or a saying that you are separated from these things.
Yes. You're right. Sometimes when I'm walking, I just look at, and we live in a fairly nice neighborhood. It's kind of like living in the park, because everybody over here is like got two or three dogs, and everybody walks and they cycle, and the kids ride golf carts and all this stuff. And sometimes when I walk in, I'll look and I'll see all the houses, and I said, we all live in boxes. We all live in different size boxes. We fix our boxes up differently. And then inside the box, there are other boxes, rooms. They're all separate rooms. And so it's this whole dimension is all centered around separation, isn't it? This whole dimension.
The day that I run into this was the day that I found out who the real Jesus was, the real Christ was. Christ's name is Judy Hill, Sandra Ortiz. Christ's name is Marquesa. Christ's name is James Dixon. Christ's name is John Greason. Christ's name is Pearl Lucas. Christ's name is Judy Hill. Christ's name is Dion. When you say it with a wink,
they can't see her eyes. That's the craziest wink. You have to do it like that.
Yeah, do it. Do your mouth right. You have to hold your mouth right.
Hey, Oliver. Ollie, he says, are all the limited boxes within the boundless box of awareness? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's awareness that's aware of the limited boxes.
You come one Christmas to bring all gifts, but you have no way of knowing that the gift that is really truly coming to give is the awareness of who you are.
Yeah.
Once you come in the door down the chimney, tell everybody in the house, Jesus was already there. He just give you a sign through the coming forth of your body. Actually, what the physical body do is give the invisible self. Actually, what the body does is give the invisible self a location.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm going to say it again.
Yes.
The physical body is what gives the Christ self a geographical location.
Exactly.
I like it. I could say that all night.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a localization of God.
Since you can't handle the word God too much.
All right.
It is the localization of your eternal self.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know how much more we're going to be able to take this eternal conversation.
Well, if you speak from and think from that you are, there is nothing that you cannot take.
When you walk up to your enemy or the enemy of your finite self, that's something that done something to the finite mind. The minute both of y'all meet each other, you are automatically forgiveness, eternal forgiveness.
Yes.
Without
Yes.
saying,
Yes.
would you forgive me?
Yes.
But you say that because of the finite self. But who you are, you know what? As the forgiveness of eternal God, the eternal self, there is no way possible for you to not to forgive, because that part of you that's eternal is made out of forgiveness.
Yes. Well, that's what I put in there this time when I did the affirmations. I wanted to make sure I said that I am forgiveness. And I put it right there. I am forgiveness. And I didn't want to say I am for a forgiving self. I didn't want to say I am a peaceful self. I wanted to say I am peace.
That's it.
I am forgiveness.
How are you today? Fine. Well, some people might say, well, I'm doing fairly well. I'm taking a step. Sometimes I tell people that I'm taking a step. But you know what? The biggest step I've ever took was when I gave up the ideal. Oh, I'm sorry. When God, in disguise as Sawyer, decided to wake up inside of Sawyer and reveal to his mind that Christ is eternal forgiveness.
The knower woke up in us, and the knower has awakened in you.
You are the
You wouldn't even be listening to us if the knower had not awakened. Right.
I speak to the ears of God. I speak to the mind of God. I speak to the blessings of God. I speak to the wisdom of God. Yes, I called it up by the name. Come forth. Somebody is finally experiencing Jesus coming out from hiding in their physical body. Yeah. Do you know what? You know what? When a person get miracle healing, if I was to go to the hospital and the doctor look at my shoulder and find out that it's no need for surgery, that means in that part of me, in my physical body, God just stepped out in.
Manifested. This I'm glad you said that. He manifests himself in his oneness and hides himself in his singularity. I'll read it again. He manifests himself in his oneness and hides himself in his singularity. We are the singularity, single units that God is hidden in.
Let's go for it. Let's go fishing without a fishing rod and fishing string, fishing line. Let's sit down on the side of the bank and allow the fish to come up out of the water and speak one word: Christ be seen. I see him and I look upon his face. I am deliberately moving in his love and grace. If you want to see him, don't ask for it, just see it.
Just see it.
Because if you ask for it and try to see it, you shut it down.
Yes.
In awareness. You know what? There's something about you that's just like God. It is evidence. I'm going to get a lawyer. I'm going to take you to court because you're saying that you and God, they did Jesus. They wanted to kill him because he said he made himself equal with God. I'm going to tell you, let your lying self take the stand, the witness stand. It'll tell everything that it can say to cause your eternal self not to be the real you. But then let the eternal self take the stand. Oh, God Almighty. Yes. Oh, glory be to God. Glory be to God. When the real self sits down and take the testimony, take the questions from the world. Are you the King of Jews? No, that's what they asked him.
And you made me think about this. The whole time that Jesus was living, if the narrative is true, he was questioned about who he be. And that's what life is doing to us, is questioning about who you be. Can I read something else?
Go ahead.
He says this, and this is in that book again, and I'll put it up so you guys can see it. It's called Know Yourself.
Yeah, is that by who?
Gosh, I don't know.
Unknown.
I can't say the name.
Okay.
But it says this. The prophet said, die before you die.
Yeah.
That is, know yourself before you die. God says, my servant continues to approach me with free acts until I love him. And when I love him, I am his hearing, his sight, his hand, which refers to the fact that whoever knows their self sees their whole being as the very being of God, without any change in their essence or attributes. There is no need for any change since that person.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that.
Since that person was not the existence of their own essence, but was simply ignorant of the knowledge of their self. When you know yourself, your egoism disappears, and you know that you are no other than God. If you had an independent existence, you would have no need of passing away or self-knowledge. You would therefore be a Lord apart from him. But there is no Lord apart from God, who is blessed and exalted. There is no God but God.
Sit still. God is your breath. Notice your chest rising and falling. And some of you so still you can feel your heartbeat. When I was a little boy, I used to sit up in the middle of the night, and my bed was facing my uncle and aunt bed in the same room, so we slept in the same room. I used to get up in the middle of the night. I don't know why I did that, but I got up and I would look at the bed that they were sleeping in. I would, this before I ever knew anything about God like we do now. I saw her heart beating.
I remember you saying that. You said that you mentioned that so many times.
I did it. I sat up. I was a little boy, 4 or 5 years old. I just out of the blue. The moon was shining bright through the window. I'd look over there at her in the bed, and her body would be the heartbeat be going like this, boom, 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 and the whole bed would be moving. Boom, 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 boom. That's strong. That's strong.
It's very strong. Yes.
When the physical heart stopped beating, before your heart releases you, or before you walk off from it by out-of-body experience. Here it is. Death is the body experiencing you when you leave.
Exactly. We never experienced death.
Watch out, girl.
We never experienced it.
Listen. All over the universe right now, all over this world, bodies are dying and experiencing eternal essence when it leaves the body. You give the physical body the experience of you being in it.
Yeah.
When you get through with it,
that's good.
You get through with it, you will stop giving your body the experience of yourself.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
That's good, boo. That's good. That's good.
You'll tell the
body.
Why
do you always turn your back when you say something?
I don't know. I had to turn around and I don't know. I just turn around. And I'm so knocked off my feet with this thing.
Oh, I know.
All of the limitations of the body for the final time must lose you into the unlimited dimension where your body cannot go.
Exactly.
Your body can't go with you because it was designed to stay here on the earth.
And it's designed to go back to the earth.
You are going to leave this body and give it the experience of what it's like to not have you in it.
I love that. I love that. I love it. Judy says she loves it too.
Lord have mercy.
That's good.
Look at yourself. I tell people in my wedding when I do wedding and they on their knees for the communion, I said, I want you guys to look at yourself, look at each other face to face, holding hand on their knees. I said, this is the last time you're going to see.
Yes, yes.
In the spirit, you're going to, for the last time, see each other as two. Oh, man, you're not going to tell me she's her and I'm me. This is my car. This is her car. Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead with it. But let me tell you this. The day will come, and it could be the next second.
Yes, it could.
Your body is going to experience the leaving of you. Your body is going to have to accept the fact that you are finished with it. And I don't care if you call it death, you can call it sickness, you can call it cancer. But whenever you get ready to leave this body, hey, listen to this. You can leave it, not anything be wrong with it. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. You leave it every night in your sleep.
Yeah.
You tell your body through a switch on the inside of you, I am going to step out for a second, but I'm going to leave the motor running. And then the morning comes, you get back in there, and it's like, but if you're not aware of these things that I'm talking about, I hear the repeated in my inner self said, when you leave this body, and what the body calls death, or what the mind calls death, when you leave this body, this will be the moment that your body will no longer have you in it. Yes. And it's going to experience you departing from it. Yes. Yes. You're not going to be able to stay in this body because you're through with it. Mm-hmm. You're finished with it. Mm-hmm. You keep saying, I'm so tired. No, you ain't. You ain't tired enough for your eternal self to say, I'm going to leave. Your body is going to experience you leaving it. Yes. Yes. Not you experiencing it leaving you. Yes. The next 5 minutes, I heard some of the old saints say, the old mentors, the old sages, they would sit down, they look at the clock and look back over, they say, at such a time at 9:45, I'm going to leave this body. The body say, Well,
Jesus said it very well. He says, no man can take this from me. I have to lay it down. So he was speaking as that true essence, saying that. He wasn't speaking from being the body. He was speaking from the purest essence of God that he is. So that's how he could say he has to lay it down. Mm-hmm. We lay our bodies down. We don't. Mm-hmm. The body doesn't evict us. Mm-hmm. We lay it down.
I can tell you without error and without mistake, you're not going to tell your body when you're going to leave.
That's true.
The doctor may say within 6 weeks. He may be right, he may not be.
That's right.
But your eternal self has marked it in the books, the annuals of the books of departure. I don't think I want to say that no more because that's scary.
Well, don't end on that. Ooh, we've got to end. We can't end on that.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell my body. It ain't too long from now that you and I are going to depart from each other. But if I do, I want you to know that I used you for all these years to give manifestation of the physical presence of God in spirit. And you did good at making it look like it was just you standing there by yourself. You didn't know that the real me, is going to leave you. And you're going to experience what it's like for me to depart from you. Now that I am telling you this, Don't be surprised if I don't leave any time. I'm not going to tell my body when I'm going to leave. I don't want it to know when I'm going to leave because it is a private sector between my sacred contracts. Then the body may say, well, can't you give me a little hint? I said, well, the biggest hint I can give you is in the body, and you as the body, you may sneeze, you may have a stomach ache, you may have to go to the doctor, you may have to have surgery, you may have to get, you might have it in a car. I don't know. You pick out whichever one you think you're going to leave, that I'm going to leave in. It may be right, it may not. But I can tell you, my body, that I am going to leave you, and you're going to experience me when I do.
Now that sounds like your last words.
It does, and it is. It is.
Yeah, but
you guys listen to. I'm as we talk. I'm by revelation and insight. I'm going to talk to you about the real thing now. I'm going to sing your last song and tell your body, say, hey, body, I'm going to sing the greatest song in the world. When I get through, I'm going home.
I know somebody out there saying, Pastor sound like he getting ready to leave. Mm-hmm. I know that's what they're doing. But that doesn't mean that. I want to make sure you understand that doesn't mean that. We've got to leave. We got to leave. We've got to go.
Did I scare you?
No, it's after one. And we've been on an hour.
Okay, already. That's all right. I didn't want to scare you.
No, you didn't scare me. You didn't scare me. Are you finished?
No. When the time came for my body to meet your body, each one of our eternal selves, seemingly individualized, decided it was time for you and I to hook up with each other for the explicit purpose of doing certain things. Our spirit decided that we wanted to do the last few things in our life through appearing to each other as separated. Okay. And when we got together, our two spirits, individualized seemingly, decided that everything that you and I would do, we were permitted by the spirit self, we permit our bodies to do it. And then there will come a time when we will say to each other in spirit, I'm through. I'm through. I finished. I'm not trying to say this in a derogative way. I'm telling you the power of Jesus Christ when it said, I have power to lay this body down and to raise it up. That's, right. That's the same thing we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're saying. We're saying this 24/7.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Glory be to God. Whoa! Wow!
Oh, dare to think this of yourself. Dare to think this of yourself. Thank you, Judy. We love you too. Thank you, Marquesa. We love you too. We will see you guys. We won't see you for a while unless he comes back real fast.
That's a possibility.
And his recovery might come back real fast. And if it does, we'll come on.
There's a possibility after Thursday or Friday. There's a possibility you may hear me on Sunday morning.
Depends on how things go. We know there's always
but I do know you won't hear me Thursday.
Right.
Because I will be in the hospital during that time.
That's right. That's right. So we'll see you. Sayonara.
It's been a good time. Tell your body it ain't time yet for you to go. And by you staying in it right now, it said, boy, I'm so glad he's staying a little while longer. See you later.
Yes, Sissy says, okay, use your power to stay here a little longer.
Yeah, I see it. But you know, you're talking to spirit there when you say that. You're talking to the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got you, Sissy. We got you, sweetie. We got you, Sissy.
See you later.
We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great Memorial weekend.